end a lot of debate. There's a lot of people that think Paige Bueckers is the best guard, the best player in college women's hoops. And there's people who think Caitlin Clark's the GOAT. So we will see. Let me tell you guys what happened a couple days ago in the Elite Eight. Uconn beat USC in freshman phenom Juju Watkins 80-73. Paige Bueckers was outstanding, of course. 28 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Aaliyah Edwards chipped in with 24 points and 6 rebounds as well. Caitlin Clark and Iowa, they breezed past LSU. They won in a high-scoring affair, went past the defending champions, Angel Reese and Flau'jae Johnson. That one lived up to the hype. That one was fantastic, high-scoring, emotionally filled game. A lot of emotions coming up to that game. Iowa won 94-87 in a 2023 championship rematch showdown. Caitlin Clark, she had 41 points, 12 assists, and led her team with 7 rebounds while they got out-rebounded by 20-plus rebounds. Caitlin Clark was 9 for 20 from downtown, almost 50%, ladies and gentlemen. Senior co-captain Kate Martin chipped in with 21 points, 6 rebounds herself. Sydney Affolter, I told you guys about Sydney Affolter last video. She was the X factor in that game. She had 16 points herself with 5 rebounds. Let's talk about their roads to the Final Four for both teams. UConn's road to the Final Four, they played number 14 Jackson State, where they were 37.5-point favorites, and they won only by 22. Only. 86-64. Next round, the round of 64, they played number 6 Syracuse, where they won 72-64, and they were 19.5-point favorites. Put that into perspective. Sweet 16, they played number 5 Duke in a low-scoring, ugly win where they won 53-45 by 8 points, and they were 7.5-point favorites, and they won exactly by 8 in that game. The next round, which was 2 nights ago, as I said, they played number 1 USC, and they won 80-73, being 3.5-point favorites. Iowa's road to the Final Four. Their seeds concluded of number 16 Holy Cross, number 8 West Virginia, number 5 Colorado, and number 3 LSU, the defending champs. Out of those 4 games, Iowa only covered in 2, which were the 2 last games, number 3 LSU and number 5 Colorado. The team stats, the overall team plays. Iowa is a small ball, running gun, high-paced, fast, offensive threat. Their tallest player is 6'2" Hannah Stuelke, and that's it by a mile. She's the tallest. And they are somehow still 17th in the nation in rebounding. While Connecticut is 81st, Iowa is 2nd in the nation in field goal percentage, and Uconn is 3rd, respectfully. 4th would be top-seeded South Carolina. Iowa is 1st in the nation in assists per game, while Uconn is 4th. Iowa is 1st in the nation, again, in points per game at 92 points per game by a full 2-possession margin of 6 points. Second would be LSU at 85.9, while Uconn is 14th in the nation in points per game at 79.9. The concerning aspect for this Uconn team, they aren't the powerhouse they once were. Their coach is still there, but they have 2 freshmen, which is concerning. They've lost a lot of games they shouldn't have lost. They had a lot of close games as well. They aren't that team that just wins by 20, goes undefeated, and cruises to a national title. It's not the case this time. They're going against a machine in this Iowa offense, the deadliest machine in the nation, if not the deadliest offensive scheme in women's college basketball history. Like I said, UConn has 2 freshman starters, KK Arnold and Ashlyn Shade, which will get exposed by this Iowa team. Iowa has 0 freshmen that are getting minutes, 0 freshman starters. They have 2 freshmen on the roster, but their youngest starter would be sophomore Hannah Stuelke at center. Like I said, those 2 freshmen for UConn, they both played 20-plus minutes in the last game, and they combined both for 9 points. Senior Molly Davis is questionable as well for Iowa, which is scary because she's a bucket-getter guard. There's just no veteranship, no experience in this UConn team, which will make it so hard for the UConn Huskies in this game. No leadership, really. No experience. I love Paige Bueckers. I think she's going top 3 in this year's draft as well. But I think it will be too overwhelming for this Uconn team. She'll have no help, in my opinion. This Iowa team could possibly win it all, to be honest. They beat South Carolina last year. South Carolina doesn't have a single returning starter on their team. Iowa's looking nice. LSU lost to South Carolina twice this year, but only by a few possessions. And the way I seen Iowa thrash LSU, I can see them making it all the way. Like I said, Lisa Bluter has a great offensive game plan for every game, offensive scheme. I think Iowa cruises in this game. The under-over sits at 162.5. I think this one will be low scoring as UConn won't produce much offense. Iowa's just the better, well-rounded team. Like I said, they have the veteranship. They have the leadership. They have the best player on the planet. Kate Martin is the second best player on the Iowa team. She showed out. She's so consistent. She's a great rebounder, great shooter, great three-point threat. They still have Gabby Marshall. She played phenomenal defense last game. Sydney Falter, like I said. Hannah Stokey stepped up against Angel Reese. Addison O'Grady, she played phenomenal as well, out the blue, off the bench for Iowa. This Iowa team, hands down, will win this game. I do not see UConn winning this game at all. I don't see this one being close. I think they thrash UConn in this game better than they thrashed LSU, in my opinion. Your play for Friday, April 5th, 2024, UConn women's versus Iowa women's Final Four. I'm taking the Hawkeyes to win by a full possession. -2.5 points at -110. That is your play of the week, and I will see you in the national championship. See you guys.